Hello everyone, my name is Michael Sardell and I'm here to tell you about the progress that we have made in the video game industry since the year 2000. Um, in the year 1958, the first actual arcade video game was released. It was basically a rundown version of the extremely popular game Pong. In 1972, it was released into our living rooms as the actual, as we know it today, Pong. 56 years later, we have come enormously far as technology goes and what we're capable of doing in our living rooms. How far of that technology have we gone in 14 years since the year 2000? Some of you may be surprised of the progress that we've made. Some of you may not be, but I'm here to show you today the facts, and so you can get a good opinion on how far we've made it since the year 2000 as far as the video game industry has gone. Systems from the year 2000 and 2001 were considered the sixth generation of video games. They included the PlayStation 2, the Xbox, and the GameCube. In 2000, Sony released the PlayStation 2, and it was the first system to ever support full DVD technology. That's the first system to make it so you can watch DVDs. In the year 2000, we were loving the idea of DVDs. They were like for only rich people almost. So to be able to buy a video game system with the DVD player in it, it was huge. So Sony did a great marketing decision there, and it resulted in them selling 155 million units. With the DVD technology being the top thing for them, graphics were good and everything, but the main selling point for the PS2 at the time was the DVD technology. The most popular game on the PS2 was Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and it sold about 21 million units. The next system to come out was in November of 2001, which was the original Xbox. It was Microsoft's first actual system. They made a great leap in the industry of gaming with the innovation of online gaming. They hosted an online gaming service called Xbox Live. It is still today the most popular online gaming service known to man. The most popular game on the Xbox was Halo 2. It sold about 8 million units, and the actual system itself has sold about 24 million units according to Microsoft. The GameCube was the system that was released by Nintendo around the same time the Xbox came out, and it was the first Nintendo console to use optical discs, which were just tiny little discs that could store, at the time, an enormous amount of data, which allowed for the games to get bigger, run smoother, and the graphics to be better. The most popular game at the time was Super Smash Bros. Melee, and sold about 7 million copies, and the actual system itself sold about 22 million units. So in 2000-2001, Sony was on top. They sold 155 units as opposed to Xbox and GameCube's 24 and 22 million. So it just shows you that with the innovation of new technologies such as putting a DVD player in a system, you will sell much better. A few years later, in 2005 and 2006 is when the seventh generation of systems came out. The first system to come out was the Xbox 360. It came out in November of 2005, and since then it's been named the sixth best console of all time by IGN. The most popular game was Kinect Adventures, which sold about 18 million units according to Joystick, and the system itself sold 84 million units from Microsoft. Sony responded with their system, the PlayStation 3, the next year in 2006. That was the first system to fully support 3D gaming and Blu-ray technology. So they took the DVD idea and they improved upon it with the Blu-ray idea. That was the first system to have Blu-ray technology now. That is one of the best marketing decisions Sony's ever made, as well as the 3D gaming technology. Being the first system to have a 3D game on it is a very, very big deal. It's a major selling point, and they still did very well even today. They sold 80 million units of the PS3. And the most popular game on the system was Grand Theft Auto 5, of course, and that game on the PS3 sold about 34 million units. And shortly after the PS3, a couple days after, was the Nintendo Wii's release. The Nintendo Wii actually won the console war during the 7th generation. They sold 100 million units, and the reason for that is because they innovated the way controls worked. They went from just regular controllers to an actual remote that you could swing around and use motion controls with. This was a big deal at the time because motion controls were never a success, but Nintendo did really well innovating it, and they made it so games like Mario Kart, which was their most popular game, that sold 36 million copies. Instead of using joysticks, you can actually turn the wheel. This was a major jumping advantage for Nintendo, and because they innovated the motion controls, they sold 100 million units, and they won the console war for the 7th generation. Today's systems that came out last year, 2012 and 2013, was the 8th generation. The first system to come out for that was the Wii U. It came out in November of 2012. The Wii U did not do as well as the Wii did, even though Nintendo tried as hard as they could to make it so it would. It's the only system right now that supports previous generation games. So the Wii U can play Wii games. That's the only system now that can do that. That's not really an advancement in technology, but that is still a selling point because all the other systems just moved on. The most popular game to date for the Wii U is New Super Mario Brothers with 4 million sold from Nintendo, and so far the Wii U has sold 7 million units. The next system to come out came out last year on November 2013, and it's the first system to have the development of virtual reality. The PlayStation 4 is currently working on something called something that's under development as Oculus Rift. It's going to be in the future, it's going to be virtual reality, where you are able to put a headset on and you're going to be able to look and walk around in what will seem like a completely different world. This is a major leap and seems to be the next major leap in gaming, and PlayStation is jumping right on it. So far, the PlayStation 4 has sold 10 million units, so they are actually currently in the lead of today's console war. And the final system to be released is the Xbox One, which came out shortly after, about a week after the PlayStation 4 did. Xbox did a major jump in gaming as well because they're the first. The Xbox One was the first system to have DVR technology. You can now watch TV and record your TV shows all on the Xbox One. That's brand new technology to video gaming. I mean, who would think to put TV in video games? And because of that, it was a major selling point. Even though they're actually least, they're the farthest behind in the console wars with only 3 million units sold. So even though Microsoft is farthest behind, they're still making innovative jumps. But right now, the virtual reality idea that PlayStation's holding is going much farther than television, which is why they're doing so much better. So, in the end, we've come very far in video gaming. In only 14 years, we've gone from games that produce poor sluggish graphic gaming machines that are strictly gaming, they don't have any of these add-on features like we have nowadays, to supercomputers that pretty much support 3D gaming, DVDs, Blu-rays, motion controls, virtual reality, DVR technology, and the thing is more is going to come out. This is just the start. I mean, these systems only came out less than a year ago, so they're only going to get better. So there's a lot more to come in the future. This should excite gamers today because it just shows you that we're experiencing an exponential growth in the video game field. So that should tell you that by the year 2028, we should be twice as far in the video game industry. Thank you.